So hello! Well, today I'd like to take a look at a few books that I really do enjoy reading from time to time. I know it's sort of getting old hat now, the old survival, sort of living outdoors, bushcrafting kind of thing, because everyone's doing it. But when I first became aware of it, it was quite a while back, and Raymond Mears, as he was known here in this book, was one of the great practitioners of it, and he had a company, or still probably does have a company called Woodlore, somewhere down in Surrey, I believe. I've never attended any of his courses, but they are superb apparently, and this was one of the first books that he wrote. You can see, well, can you though? It's quite glary, isn't it? I don't know if this is in the right place to do this review really. Let's move forward a bit. You can see sort of bought at £7.50 back in the day, and well, yeah, I bought this one. It's a first edition from 1990. So can you see that? Hopefully that's in focus. From 1990, and it's the Oxford Illustrated Press version. Be aware if you're collecting these books, or you want to buy one, because they were reprinted. I forget the name of the people that reprinted it, but they reprinted it in around 1993. And some people try and sell them as, the originals. That is the topics it covers. Possible shelter, protection, fire, water, plants. Obviously, I hope that you're aware of who Ray Mears is. He's a practitioner of bushcraft. Rather than survival, he actually teaches people how to live in the wild, and that's all his various different fire starting flint and steels that he has there, char cloth. Learn all about it in the book. It's one of his, it's the first book he ever wrote, in actual fact, I believe, anyway. I believe. He used to have these sort of mini shows that they were like 15 minutes long, and he would show you techniques that he knew on television. I can't remember if it was on Channel 4 or the ITV now. There are some colour photos. It's a great little book. All sorts of things about, sorry about the shadows, poisonous plants, things like that. Poisonous plants. Anyway, that's that one. So that was that book, his first one. And from that, there was an offspin called the Complete Outdoor Handbook, which I got from a library copy, cheapskate. So by this stage in my time, I'd sort of given up spending loads of money on the books. But this was 1992, so this was slightly later. Well, 2 years later, isn't it? But this is a great little book. This is more based at, I suppose, younger people, perhaps, arguably. I don't know. I learned a lot of it when I was in my mid-30s, so... No, hang on a minute, I wasn't mid-30s then, was I? I was sort of late 20s, I suppose. But, yeah, it's all good. It teaches you a lot of things about camping out, navigation, things that you need, cutting tools, things, map reading. It's all very good. I sort of highly recommend it, to be honest with you. A really good book, and you can pick them up really dirt cheap. Again, it delves into edibles, wild edibles. Although if you really want to go into that, you should buy the book by Richard Maybe, Her Food for Free, which is the kind of ultimate guide to eating out from the hedgerow. If that's the right way. And don't eat the chocolate raisins from the hedgerows. But yeah, so that's another book that Ray's delivered, and then from that I suppose came Bushcraft, which is another cracker. And Bushcraft is like I suppose to many the Bible. Again, it was an ex-library copy I bought. It was just a cheapskate. But it does all sorts of things like outfit, what you need, cutting tools, water, its purification, how to get it, how to light fire, shelter, cordage, living from the land. You know, it's a cracking book. And at this point in time, Ray was obviously popular enough to attract the likes of Ewan McGregor, who's obviously a very famous actor, and he even did the preface, you know, the preface by Ewan McGregor. They went to the jungles, I think they went to Borneo or something like that. Anyway, this book was much more of a kind of generic bushcraft around the world type thing, so in cold environments, hot environments, and what you will need for each type of situation. Deserts, sorry about these shadows, it's daft, isn't it? I've filmed it here. You know, can you eat certain cactuses, how to get water in polar condition. Another cracking book, to be honest with you. Lighting fires, different methods of doing that, and so I highly recommend it. And the old bow and drill method, of course, a cracker to learn. If you can learn this, you know, it can save your life, because you can use your bootlace and then a penknife to make all the bits and bobs that you need to get yourself warm. So highly recommend that one. And from that, off span Out on Land, which is another sort of much the same as bushcraft, but this one specifically is for the northern forests, the Brill Forest. Again, oh, surprise, surprise, a library copy. But you know, okay, it cost 25 quid when it was new. I got this for about 3 quid, so you know, I'm not that down, am I? Yeah. But again, it covers, you know, the Brill world, outfit that you need, cold injuries that you can get, basic forest skills, navigation in the wilderness of forests, fire, summer travel, winter travel, food in the wild, survival, long range bushcraft. So it's all gear. I like it a lot. And often, as Ray likes to do, he consults indigenous folk that really know what they're doing, because they live in that environment, for their tips and tricks. And back with the shadows again. Back in the shadows. But you can see here, for example, you know, these are sort of Swedish Sami, well, carters, I think they're called, and they're way back from when, you know. So he covers a lot of very interesting topics, does Ray. I can highly recommend his books, to be honest with you. Well worth it if you're interested in outdoors, bushcrafting, wild foods, things like that. Certainly go for it. Go for these. You know, it's obviously footwear and handwear that you would need for the environment, the specific environment that you're in. So it covers a whole load of things. Again, it's navigation. Anyway, it's pretty much a self-explanatory thing. And his latest one, that I managed to get my hands on, which is called We Are Nature, and this is you know, a modern book, in the sense of I think it's only been just recently released. I can't remember now. Here. Where is it? Again, this one I bought first edition, so it's only a year old. But I have read it, and I can tell you it's cracking. Ruth is his current wife. Obviously, that's why he's dedicated to her. And it's a cracker of a book to read, and really interesting. Really, really, really interesting. I can just sort of let you read the back there yourselves, you know. But I can only highly recommend Ray Mears. And yeah, this one was a bit more of a knock in the ghoulies, because it was 20 quid that I paid, and I did have to pay for tax on it as well, and postage from the UK. But I still don't regret it, because it's a cracking book. How to reconnect with the wild. So, Ray Mears. Know him as a guru of he's like a Moors Kochanski, I think his name was, the Canadian. He was from Polish roots, Moors Kochanski, and he's like the other guy, Dick Richard Prenicky was another previous kind of very interesting person who lived in the wild and knew all about what they were doing. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review of this collection that I have of Mears books. There was another one actually called Wild Food. I think it was very well worth having. Dr. somebody or other co-wrote it, you know, an expert. He's dead now, sadly. An expert on wild food. Shame I haven't got that one to hand, but I don't, sadly. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, because this has now gone on to 10 minutes and beyond, so I don't want to, if anybody's still watching, of course. But check them out. Great books. If you want to, you know, in this dreadful day and age in which we live now, never probably is there a better time to prepare for the inevitable whatever. Cheers. I'll leave you with Jimmy. Jimmy, you all right, mate? Snoozing as usual, isn't he? Snoozing like a Sousa. Oh, snoozing.